Privilege is an understatement when it comes to the British royal family. But is it too much to expect an entire bedroom set be hauled around the world with you? Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, was always known to enjoy a glass or two of wine. She was even said to overindulge on occasion. As royal expert William Hanson told Express, the late Queen Mother liked to drink. She apparently revealed this fact to unsuspecting citizens who noticed her whizzing past them in the back of the palace vehicle. Hanson revealed, the public were waving along the Mall as she drove up, and the Queen Mother, being very generous, was waving back. But she was so tittled that she was slipping slowly down the seat and just disappeared and fell on the floor. Some sources indicate that the Queen Mother required her staff to join her liquid indulgences as well. In his book, Behind Palace Doors, Colin Burgess opened up about his experience working as the Queen Mother's equerry. The former staffer wrote, "I was never much of a boozer, but I was expected to match the guests drink for drink, and the Queen Mother was deeply offended if ever I said no to more alcohol."
Princess Margaret was used to being centre stage, and she'd never had no said to her.
Princess Margaret was said to ask odd favours from Hollywood celebrities, and one of the best examples apparently occurred at a wedding attended by Elizabeth Taylor. According to the biography, Elizabeth Taylor, Richard Burton and the Marriage of the Century by Sam Kashner and Nancy Schoenberger, Margaret approached Taylor at the event. The princess noticed that the actor was wearing the 33.19 carat diamond ring that Richard Burton had bought her and allegedly told Taylor, "Is that the famous diamond? It's so large. How very vulgar." The biography further claims that Margaret went on to ask Taylor to let her try on the ring, although it was worth $1.5 million. Once Margaret placed the enormous diamond on her finger, Taylor allegedly produced a sardonic retort. "Not so vulgar now, is it?" Per Kashner and Schoenberger's account, the actor retold the story to her social circle many times, always imitating Margaret's posh British accent. Ultimately, it seems, the princess's crass comments did little to help her befriend Taylor and Burton. In a personal diary entry, Burton once complained that Margaret was, quote, "infinitely, boringly uncomfortable to be around." Over the years, Princess Margaret made more than one bizarre royal request to celebrities. Unfortunately, her royal tone did not always come across well. As royal expert Theo Aronson wrote in the book Princess Margaret, a biography, Margaret's regal attitude rubbed Judy Garland the wrong way at a Hollywood party. Per Aronson's account, the drama started when Margaret spotted Garland at the Beverly Hills Hotel. The princess sent a staffer over to the actor, requesting a musical performance. Woefully, the formality surrounding this request backfired. Garland was utterly put off by what Aronson described as Margaret's lordly tone. She allegedly instructed the staffer, "Go and tell that nasty, rude little princess that we've known each other for long enough and gabbed in enough ladies' rooms that she should skip the ho-hum royal routine and just pop over here and ask me herself. Tell her I'll sing if she christens a ship first." Thanks to all of her Tinseltown antics, Margaret was actually refused permission to return to the United States in 1973. Lord Cromer, the then British ambassador to the US, was reportedly mortified by the company she kept in Hollywood. In an official statement, the British Foreign Committee attributed its decision to, quote, "the behaviour of some of HRH's friends, who tend to take such visits very lightly." If Princess Margaret struggled in her interactions with Hollywood celebrities, Prince Philip didn't do much better. He is rumoured to have made a bizarre royal request of the Australian film star Cate Blanchett. In an episode of The Jonathan Ross Show, Blanchett claimed that Philip asked her for advice on how to fix his DVD player at a formal lunch. Apparently, the interaction began when the prince asked Blanchett if she was an actor. When the movie star replied in the affirmative, the prince allegedly launched into an explanation of his technical difficulties.
Well, I was given a DVD player for Christmas, and I can't work out whether I put the green cord in.
Speaking to Ross, Blanchett claimed that she told Philip she wasn't qualified to help him.
I said, well, sir, it's not my area of expertise. I couldn't work out for the life of me why I'd been invited.
This was not the only time that Philip offended a big-time celebrity. In his autobiography, Me, Elton John wrote that Philip insulted his yellow Aston Martin, calling it ghastly. Per the singer's account, at a meeting in the 1970s, Philip confronted him about the vehicle and said, "Ridiculous, makes you look like a bloody fool. Get rid of it." Although some royal requests are highly personal, others span generations. Queen Elizabeth, for example, was said to ask to eat round sandwiches rather than square ones, out of respect for a decades-long royal tradition. Speaking in the documentary Secrets of the Royal Kitchen, Elizabeth's former chef, Graham Newbold, revealed that many royals consider square-shaped sandwiches a symbol of treason. He explained, "The royal family, when they're having square sandwiches, they always had the corners cut off. It's tradition. It goes back a long time. In the olden days, if you served anything to the monarch that had a point on it, it meant that you were trying to overthrow the throne." Because of these historical implications, Elizabeth enjoyed small sandwiches called jam pennies. Former Buckingham Palace chef Darren McGrady spoke in depth about the sandwiches in a video on his YouTube channel.
The Queen was served jam pennies in the nursery as a little girl. She's had them for afternoon tea ever since.
This simple treat combines jam and butter on classic white bread, although McGrady divulged that the Queen had a particular preference for strawberry jam.
We'd make the jam at Balmoral Castle with the gorgeous Scottish strawberries from the gardens.
Of course, a defining feature of jam pennies is their round shape, reminiscent of the large pennies that were once part of Britain's pre-decimal currency. Queen Elizabeth was not the only royal known to make bizarre requests at meals. Her husband, the late Prince Philip, was also rumoured to enforce a strict rule at formal dinners. According to the book, Not in Front of the Corgis, Secrets of Life Behind the Royal Curtains by royal expert Brian Hoey, Prince Philip liked to decide the topic of conversation during private dinners.
My grandfather had an incredible sense of humour. He's a very quick wit.
Unfortunately, this tendency left at least one of the prince's guests feeling like a fish out of water. As Hoey wrote, one lady was dismayed to find she was expected to contribute on the subject of deciduous trees, about which she knew absolutely nothing. Sadly for guests, Philip's odd request didn't necessarily stop there. Hoey's book also alleges that the prince would grow frustrated if his dinner company didn't have the knowledge base to converse about the subject of his choice. The royal expert wrote, "If guests are not quite as knowledgeable as they should be, the prince can become very touchy. But if someone is more expert than him, it can just as easily ruin the occasion." When it comes to making bizarre royal requests, King Charles III has something of a reputation. The monarch has been known to ask his staffers to do ridiculous jobs, a tendency that, according to the documentary Serving the Royals, Inside the Firm, once earned him the title the Pampered Prince. Charles's many requests are said to include asking his staff to help him transport large personal belongings when he travels. In her book, The Palace Papers, Inside the House of Windsor, The Truth and the Turmoil, royal insider Tina Brown claimed that Charles travels with his own toilet seat and toilet paper in tow. Brown also wrote that the king asks his staff to pack up his bed, orthopedic mattress, and assorted furniture whenever he goes on trips. These employees reportedly send Charles's possessions to his destination days before he departs. Interestingly, Charles is rumoured to have other idiosyncrasies that his employees have to work around. In an interview with Hello magazine, chef Graham Tinsley opened up about his experience catering meals for the monarch, saying, "Charles doesn't like chocolate, he doesn't like coffee, nor does he like garlic. So we do have to consider these things when we're creating a menu for him." Tinsley also said that the king likes to dine with a few trinkets at the table. He always takes a little silver Malden sea salt container and his favourite cushion. Buckingham Palace scheduled the coronation of King Charles III for May 6, 2023. Incidentally, this date also happens to be Prince Archie's 4th birthday. In March 2023, while there was speculation regarding what role Prince Harry and Meghan Markle would play on Charles's special day, one royal insider claimed the pair would like to attend the event, but they had a royal request in mind. As the source told OK magazine, Harry and Meghan are keen that they too should be a part of that special family moment. The Sussexes have asked for some kind of celebration or acknowledgement to be factored into the day's plans, to ensure that Archie's 4th birthday won't get lost during the momentous day. To some fans of the royal family, Harry's coronation request seems unusual. After all, the prince dropped several bombshell accusations against the firm via his Netflix docuseries Harry and Meghan, as well as his memoir, Spare. As royal expert Katie Nicholl told Entertainment Tonight, Harry's public airing of dirty laundry has left many of his family members feeling betrayed.
I think there is just a great sense of mistrust within the family. They just simply feel that any reconciliation is not on the cards.